The deep gouge in the left shoulder blade was there too. He finally found it. According to him, the animal measured between 18 and 21 feet and weighed over 2,000 pounds. These numbers are staggering when you consider that Nile crocodiles rarely exceed 16 feet for a weight of around 1,100 pounds. 2 years of doubt evaporated in about 3 seconds. Everything the fisherman had described was real, and if anything, they had become conservative. Faye moved closer to get a better look at the teeth, which would have helped him estimate the animal's age. He approached from the front, slowly through the tall grass. Before Faye could react, the crocodile noticed them and dove into the water with a massive splash and was gone. He never got to see the teeth that day, but had seen enough to know the animal was real and the largest Nile crocodile ever documented. To him, destroying something like this before science had a chance to study it would be a massive waste. The name he chose for this crocodile was Gustav. And he decided that if Gustav was going to be stopped, he would have to be captured alive to be studied. In 2002, Faye brought his case to the Minister of the Environment in Burundi, explaining that this animal was exceptional and worthy of study, and that it shouldn't be killed but taken in alive. The minister agreed, but with a condition. Burundi was still recovering from a decade of civil war that had killed 300,000 people. The current peace was fragile, so Patrice was granted 60 days to act, after which a change of government risks plunging the entire country into civil war again. A fierce race against the clock started. 60 days isn't much time, especially when your target doesn't behave the way it's supposed to. So Faye and his team designed a cage, 30 feet long, over a ton of steel, built specifically to hold an animal of Gustav's size. He brought in specialists, a South African scientist who had successfully captured over 400 crocodiles, and a Tunisian expert who ran a farm with hundreds of Nile crocodiles. Nobody on the team had ever dealt with anything like Gustav. While the cage was being built, the team studied Gustav's behavior, and what they found didn't fit any model, to say the least. Crocodiles are territorial animals, which means they usually claim a stretch of water and defend it for years. This should make them relatively easy to find once you know their territory. Except Gustav didn't follow that rule. He would strike a village, sometimes killing multiple people within days, then vanish for months. When he resurfaced, it would be miles away in a completely different section of the river and then nothing again for months. He was still killing without eating, and nobody could explain why. 2 months before the team arrived, a park ranger had witnessed something that shouldn't be possible: Gustav killing and eating a fully grown hippopotamus. Not a baby, an adult hippo. If you watched this video, you already know that crocodiles stand no chance against adult hippos. Attacking hippos is exceptionally rare, and when it happens, it's usually the end of their lives. This crocodile had somehow learned to operate outside the rules that 200 million years of evolution had written for his species. Crocodiles don't move strategically to avoid retaliation. Gustav did. Crocodiles don't kill and leave the meat to rot when their entire metabolism is designed around conserving energy. Gustav did. Crocodiles don't attack 4,000-pound hippos that can easily crush their bones. Gustav did, and he won. Everything about this animal suggests that something had fundamentally changed in the way he functioned. The question is, what? Something had made him this way. Gustav is unlike anything we've seen in recorded animal history. A giant crocodile that kills humans and leaves the bodies uneaten. If we want to understand how he became this way, we need to look at every element that shaped him. And like any good investigation, we start with the crime scene. This is the Great Lakes region of Central Africa. This river, connecting Lake Kivu in the north, one of the Great Lakes of East Africa, to Lake Tanganyika in the south, is called the Ruzizi, as we've seen. It forms a natural border. On one side, Rwanda. On the other side, the Democratic Republic of Congo. And right here at the southern end, Burundi. This is where Gustav was born, in the lower section near the Rusizi National Park. As the current slows, the water spreads into marshlands and shallow banks. This is the kind of environment where crocodiles can grow old and large without much competition, hunting prey that comes to the water's edge to drink. But this location has another property that becomes central to our investigation. The Ruzizi works like a funnel. Anything entering the water upstream, whether from Rwanda or Congo, eventually flows through this stretch of the river. Whatever happens hundreds of miles north eventually comes down here. Speaking of which, this region has a history that makes that property highly relevant to our case.